back before Adam and Eve. Back in the times of the ancient Samaritan people. Because a lot of what we see, a lot of the culture that exists, is only a it's only a doppelganger of what once existed. So if you've been seeing 222 a lot, just know that it's been 5,558 years in estimation of Adam and Eve's time. And the devil only has 6,000 years to reign from the time of Adam and Eve, before a new world, Elohim's world, the heavenly realm, touches this earthly surface. And right now, Spirit has given me confirmation. It's been 5,558 years, which is 222 generations. 222.3, if you want to round it, generations. We're in the making of another generation at this time, bringing it to 223. $223 is the pivot. Is when it's going to be a mass awakening of Elohim's chosen. Because Elohim can't move forward with the mission of what's to happen next until his chosen awakens. That's why they've been trying to keep you asleep. That's why they don't want you to have or be privy to certain knowledge and certain information. Because when you awaken, so does the true timeline awaken. When the true timeline awakens, that's when you will begin to see the veil being ripped wide open. And for some of us, it has already happened. For some of us, it has already happened. And for some people who may not be in alignment, like you, when I say, for some people who may not be in alignment, but you may not be all the way in alignment yet, but you're tapping into the spiritual realm. But you may be tapping into it unprotected or not fully in alignment with Elohim's will for your life. So your third eye being bust wide open without the type of protection that you need in order to keep you from being swallowed by dark entities, principalities, and spiritual wickedness, because you got your foot still in two worlds without the protection to be able to help you balance between that yin and that yang energy. So one of your energies is swallowing you whole, and you haven't built up your spirit man enough in order to be able to pivot between both your yin and your yang energy. So one of your energies is swallowing you whole. taking you further into darkness than the light. You can't be further in darkness or further in light, because you're not going to be able to do what's needed to be done. You have to find balance, that duality of self, mind, body, and spirit. You have to be in alignment. And alignment means that you have to know them scales. Them scales got to be balanced at all times. So a lot of you who may be experiencing spirituality, or people that you find tweaking out from taking certain drugs or taking certain things, it could be because they actually very powerful in the spiritual realm, but they tapping into it into the wrong way. And when you get your spiritual eye bust wide open without the right type of guidance, without the right type of protection, it'll have you tweaking, making you feel like what you see, what you hear, or what you're experiencing is what most will call the supernatural. But really, it's actually really happening in real time. You just had your spiritual eye just bust wide open. And now you can see what most can't. You can hear what most can't. You can feel what most can't. But without the right type of guidance, guiding you, giving you revelation, giving you understanding to this truth, to this understanding of knowledge, of access to a different realm, to a different dimension, you're not going to be able to pivot. You're not going to be able to sustain that energy. Your vessel is not protected. Your vessel is not disciplined. Your vessel doesn't have the capacity to hold such power, to hold such force. So what happens when you can't hold the power and the force necessary in order to tap into these certain type of things? It's demonic possession happens. And some people be like, "What? No, don't read too much into this, or don't read too much in that." What was it? Was it Paul? What was it? Paul? Was it Paul? I believe it was Paul. Alright, so it's Acts 19:11. The sons of Sceva. And Elohim was doing extraordinary miracles by the hands of Paul, so that even handkerchiefs or aprons that had touched his skin were carried away to the sick. Their diseases left them, and the evil spirits came out of them. Then some of the itinerant Jewish exorcists undertook to involve the name of the Lord Yeshua over those who had evil spirits, saying, "I adjure by the Yeshua who Paul proclaims." 7 sons of a Jewish high priest named Sceva were doing this. But the evil spirit answered them, "Yeshua I know, and Paul I recognize. But who are you?" And the man in whom was the evil spirit leaped on him, mastered all of them, and overpowered them, so that they fled out of the house naked and wounded. When that is mentioned, you have to decipher it more from a spiritual sense than from a literal sense, meaning that it has more spiritual meaning having to do with the internality of what took place than more having to do with the externality of a thing. And what I mean by this is that, let's go back to 19 verse 11. And Elohim was doing extraordinary miracles by the hands of Paul, right? So that even handkerchiefs or aprons that had touched his skin were carried away to the sick, and their diseases left them, and the evil spirits came out of them. Then some of the itinerant Jewish exorcists undertook to involve the name of the Lord Yeshua over those who had evil spirits, saying, I adjure you by Yeshua whom Paul proclaims. Alright, that's one right there. I adjure you by Yeshua whom Paul proclaims. It's like, how are you trying to perform a spiritual act on someone to drive out the evil spirits, but you are not proclaiming the evil spirits to come out, but you're using somebody else's name to drive out these impure spirits? Paul knows Yeshua. Yeshua knows Paul. And because Yeshua knows Paul, Elohim knows Paul. Which means because Elohim knows Paul, Yeshua knows Paul, is the reason as to why Paul can proclaim Yeshua's name to drive out these impure spirits, because of who Paul is connected to. These sons of Sceva, who are Jewish exorcists, performing these acts to drive out these impure spirits, may have been given public authority and status to act outside of their actual spiritual ranking. Oh, glory to the Most High. Some people may have status in the public for publicity, but in reality, their actual spiritual ranking does not actually align with who they proclaim to be. It ain't no clearer way to say that. People who can proclaim to be this or that all day. You have found a lot of people who are spiritual people, but they carry impure spirits. Just because you're a spiritual person does not make you kindred to the Most High, to Yeshua. Just because you're a religious person does not make you kindred to Yeshua or the Most High, Elohim. These are personable relationships that has to be cultivated for you to proclaim in the name of Yeshua and Elohim. For you to be able to call on these higher powers, and these higher powers be able to act and enforce real power over these dark entities, principalities, and spiritual wickedness. You have to hold a certain type of spiritual ranking for you to be able to have headway in spiritual warfare and driving out impure spirits. You have to have had to battle with the many demons in your life in order to be able to go head to head with a legion of them, and to still come out on the other side unscathed. It takes a special type of individual who has a connection, a personable connection to the Most High Elohim and to Yeshua, our Savior, the Messiah, Archangel Michael. This goes beyond knowledge, y'all. I'm not being funny. It goes beyond knowledge and wisdom. This is experience, personable experience, one-on-one experience. To have cultivated this type of relationship where you can call on the Most High, the Supreme Creator, Elohim, to fight battles, to go head to head with the devil on your behalf, and any principalities, any spiritual wickedness, any entities that may be attached to anything or anyone that is trying to overcome you and overtake you. When you come into contact with these legion of demons, it's not you that they're scared of. It's who you're connected to that makes them scared. When you come in contact with certain people in your life and they scary the other way, or they act funny, or they can't be around you, or they have a funny way of being when it comes to extending a certain type of love or pleasantries with you, know that it's not you, it's them. And it's who you're connected to that bothers the entities attached to them. They don't want you to see the entity that's attached to them. And that's because the entity attached to them told them that you can't be close to them because you are going to drive them out. Some people are not ready to face their demons. Some people are not ready to face their demons even when the demon is staring them in the mirror. You can't tell me that you are spiritually empowered when you're battling. And I mean internally, externally battling demons that are overtaking you. Meaning that you don't have discipline in self, in mind, in body, in spirit. You can't tell me that you this spiritual guru, but then you are doped out, strung out, addicted to anything other than goodness, love, and the embrace of Elohim. You can't tell me that you are spiritually empowered when you've never been broken into two and rebuilt. To reestablish dominion, security, territory over the things that you once lost. So if you never experienced loss before, and I mean real loss, if you never had to go through seasons of not being favored. You don't know. You know of Elohim. You know of Yeshua. But you don't know Elohim. You don't know Yeshua. You know of. You know of. Based off of the experiences of other people. You don't know. You know of. It's two different things. To know of and to know is two different things. One is a personable experience, one is not. Nah. I can't make it up. I can't make it up, y'all. Nah. I can't make it up. This is the year of the 9 of spiritual beings, of the ethers, of 9 ether beings. And if you don't know, you would know. If you don't know, you would know. Elohim is a deciding factor in what is about to happen next. Elohim is a deciding factor in what happens next. Now ether beings, it's time for y'all to wake up. Now ether beings, it's time for y'all to wake up. Y'all are the sun people. The moon cycle has come and it has gone. The moon cycle has come and it has gone. The moon cycle has come and it has gone. Every 1,000 years, every 1,000 years, a new cycle takes place. We just came out of the moon cycle. 1,000 years has gone by. Now we are in the sun cycle. The moon cycle had to do with the shadow. Living in the shadows, dealing with shadow people, dealing with shallow people, surface level people. The sun cycle has begun. This is about death. This is about exposure. This is about truth. This is about light. Light beings. The light cycle. The light era. Truth. Death. Alignment. Awakening. Now ether beings, it is your time to wake up. Because what's about to happen as we transition and change the trajectory of what's to come, you have to be in alignment or you will not last. You will not survive. Not through these 7 plagues. Not through this famine. And it's already happening. 5,558 years. 6,000 years the devil only has to reign. What you're being called to do is an ascension. Transcending the mundane, the matriotic system, the matrix. Becoming a new being. Going back to ancient roots. Ancient civilizations. Ancient survival tactics. Ancient eating, ancient medicinal properties, and being able to pivot. Being able to survive in new conditions. But the question is, are you ready to become what's necessary in order for you to be who you've been called to be, in order for you to do what you've been called to do, in order for you to live how you've been called to live, in order for you to fulfill on a level in which you've been called to fulfill? The question is, are you ready for it? And it's no more preparation of getting ready. You already have to be ready. You have to see the happening as it's happening. Keen observation. We're living in a period of time as the sun is getting closer and closer and closer. And strange things are beginning to happen. And you must pivot. You must pivot. Until next time, stay observant. Peace and blessings. They Tasia Tatiana, the mother of restoration.